This content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill no one.
Wait a second.
Oh, no.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. Septum Sin versus the world. 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 I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You are watching a new feature for Septum Sin vs. the World. I am, of course, Septum Sin, your host for a journey through all of my collection. Eventually, by the end of this series, you, just like me, will have seen all that there is to see around me. Now that's quite a bit, as you can see. It goes back quite a bit. So let's talk. Many of you are going to be seeing this intro on the first time, because this is the intro that tells you the rules. And you may not be interested in some of the other sections. So we're going to start by talking about how this project is going to be presented. I'm going to present this in 4 sections. Those 4 sections are what I have my collection divided into: Criterion, TV, anime, and movies. Furthermore, I'm only going to cover one particular zone in each. You see, there are 3 ways that I actually look at when it comes to sorting. 1, used and unwatched, meaning I've gotten these things used and I have not watched them. These are very few and far between. New and unwatched, there's a lot of those in my collection. You can see quite a number of them up there behind me. And then finally, watched. Now it doesn't mean that I have not seen the items in the section that is unwatched or new. It's just I haven't watched my copy. And to me, it's not officially in my collection until I have watched my copy to make sure it works. Because of that, I'm going to be taking 10 items each video and talking a little bit about each one and what it means to me, why it's in my collection, if I can recall, and how I feel in general. I hope you can join me in this journey together. I will see you for the first episode. Which one? That's up to you, dear viewer. Greetings. You're watching Septum Sin versus the World. I'm Septum Sin. Well, we're coming right back again with a cat named Anderson. And our TV Stroll. Last time we talked about Criterion. This time we're going to do TV. And of course, next week, anime. And then the next week, movies. And then we're going to start over again. So of course, you've already seen the intro. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. So the first of these is my third Rock from the Sun collection. I love this. This was $15 when I got it. And I was like, I like the show somewhat when I started watching TV when it was on, and said, for $15, this ain't a bad idea. I mean, you got these, the way it looks here. And this is here, burst into surging waves of out-of-this-world comedy from all 6 seasons of the award-winning sci-fi comedy Third Rock from the Sun. Ever since the Solomon family began their mission to study the mysterious inhabitants of Earth, their awkward and hilarious moments captured the hearts and fans of critics alike. All 139 episodes, and everything there. Now, let's see, special features, you had candid interviews, best moments, blooper reels, season highlights, audio commentaries, episode previews, the alternative final episode, and much, much more. Now, there is one thing I don't like about this, is it comes in these like sleeves. They come stacked like this. This is going to hurt my the DVD quality in the long run. But, there's only so often I can watch this. I've watched it once all the way through. It worked all right. So, that's pretty cool. And, overall, that's not bad for $15. 6 seasons, I can live with that. Alright, next up. One of my favorite miniseries events that I watched with my mother, she got the actual video cassettes of this when they came out, and that is The 10th Kingdom. It has some pretty decent actors in it. You got John Larroquette, Rutger Hauer, Scott Cohen, Anne Margaret, Karen Manham, Ed O'Neill, Diane Weiss, and Kimberly Williams. Of course, this one is done the right way. There's no little thing there. It's like, you got your 2 discs. I think they actually did a much better job later on with these. You don't see these thick packs anymore. Matter of fact, they've got them on Blu-ray release now. See here, at the edge of the mortal world lies the mystical vortex which leads to 9 kingdoms. A fantastic land where fairy tales are reinvented, and not with happily ever after results. An evil queen has just doomed Prince Wendell to life as a dog. His quest to recapture the throne leads him through a portal to the mythical 10th Kingdom, Central Park. Not much of a kingdom. With the help of ordinary mortals, Virginia and Tony, they battle evil in a parallel universe of vile trolls, goblins, and every fairy tale creature imaginable. Stunning visual effects and a stellar cast, including Scott Cohen, Rutger Hauer, Cameron Mahem, and Ed O'Neill, dominate this epic adventure that will enchant audiences of all ages. Now, I've kind of mixed my TV movies with my regular movies, but when it's a miniseries event like this, I have some in my TV, some in my regular movies. I'm not going to unmix them. And this was a very good event. I really enjoyed it. I was watching it when I was in college. That tells you how old I am. Special features. You could tell this is full screen version. 2.0 Dolby Surround. Digital mastered. Interactive menus. Scene access. And then you got the making of 10th Kingdom, cast and crew information, about the characters, and search for the hidden 10th Kingdom. So not a bad package overall. Alright, the next one we have is a 13 episode series called The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. I watched this a lot as a child. I remember this quite a bit coming on. And of course, this is one of those I think that held up better as a child. There's a 2-disc collection you can see here than as an adult. But Super Sleuths Daphne, Shaggy, and Scooby-Doo are on the case for ghosts, real ghosts this time, 13 of the world's meanest ghosts to be exact. Once banned to an enchanted chest, the demons... once banned to an enchanted chest of demons for eternity, all 13 spirits are now loose to wreak havoc on the world, and only Scooby-Doo can recapture them because he's the one who unwittingly opened the chest and let them out. So, you had this other character called Flim Flam, was a kid. He was like a con artist. You know, again, you gotta have the kid appeal. Now, they have a couple of them. I mean, like I said, Don't Feed the Animals bonus episode from Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, Get a Clue series. And that's really all they have as far as that's done. This wasn't very expensive. I keep it mainly as a nostalgia point. It's not the best Scooby-Doo series, but I really liked it when I was a kid. So, you know, if you got a kid, this might be worthwhile. So now on to a show that really helped me get through college. It was just a fun show. It was great to pop in an episode, and I still do every so often. And that is The A-Team. I mean, this first season is pretty impressive. I'm not going to read the backs to all of these when we get to these multi-season ones. I mean, you can see this has little character bios. And of course, the episode breakdowns, and you have the little booklet. But this is the only one of the series that's like this, of this particular. So, it says, I love it when a plan comes together. Heroic, daring, and more than just a little colorful, the A-Team is a brave band of brothers who will stop at nothing to get the bad guys. This unforgettable series features Mr. T, one of TV's most unique popular superstars, in his most memorable role. Sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit, these 4 commandos escaped from a maximum security stockade and now survive in the Los Angeles underground as soldiers of fortune. So if you have a problem, there's no one else to call. If you think you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. But I like how they have this. I mean, you can see it's a very different background than it is, but how these pictures just fit in the bullet holes here. If you really don't want to watch a lot of A-Team, you would be okay with just this. Me, I have to have the whole series, and it is a good series. It's enjoyable, but this has some of the most memorable episodes of the series. I mean, trash bag. That's all I gotta say. But let's go through. I'll show you season 2 of the A-Team. This is the format that they come in after this. I mean, there's not many special features with this first one. I don't think there are actually any special features on this that I can think of. But there are special features on this one. There's a Knight Rider episode called Brother's Keeper. They were trying to advertise other series on it, but I'll show you the way it says. You got this disc, and you got the episodes on the back. These are like the double-sided. You got your Universal catalog. They're trying to sell you everything. And of course, they all have the same artwork. They all look the same inside. You know, they all have these double-sided discs. It's just different on the back. So I'm not going to go through all of these for the most part, other than just showing you the covers, because really and truly they all do look alike. They don't change up the disc art or anything like that, which is kind of sad. So we got season 3. Again, pretty decent picture here. You got the cool artwork on the back. And again, 3 discs with the same artwork on it. They're kind of lazy with this, I will admit. So this here Again, they all got these little group pictures. They're not the most exciting box art, but I feel like they put all of their effort into the first season when it comes to the box set. I mean, that one was really well put together. And they've got like a complete series box set out there. This is the final season. You kind of got the guy who came in the last time. They were trying to revamp the series, so they added a couple of characters to it. It didn't, I really don't think, I mean, it didn't work. I felt like it was kind of getting stale at that point. I mean, it was a really awesome series. To me, you could take any of the seasons and put on an episode, and you got a good time. So, you like good action, you like back and forth comedy, encapsulated episodes, you're good to go. And it kind of does a good job of ending things. Now, let's see, do they have any other special features worth noting? I mean, season 3 didn't have any special features. Season 4 has a bonus episode from Season 5, Point of No Return, and the Great 80s TV Flashback. And then, of course, the final season has all-new interview with series creator Stephen J. Cannell, who shares his stories about creating the series and its iconic characters behind the moments and working in it with an unforgettable cast. So, again, now you can get the whole season, probably the whole series kind of like this, much cheaper, but I already have this and it works out well for me. I enjoy the series, and there are worse ways. Another one I got cheap was The Addams Family, the complete series. As you can see on the back, the original Addams Family, not the movies. So again, now this they do change up the art. Now I want to say there is disc. No, there isn't disc art. They do the back and forth discs again, so no sense in showing that off. But they do change up the cover art for these, so that's kind of cool. And they do have some special features on each, but they have it all listed on the back. So when I read the back, you'll get all that. Available together for the first time on DVD, it's the 3 volumes of The Addams Family, plus a haunted house full of spectacular special features, like theme song karaoke, tombstone trivia, and hilarious commentaries by cast and crew, including Thing and Cousin It. What is Thing going? It's like, I mean, really. Volume 1 introduces us to the creepiest clan on TV. They really are a scream. Join Gomez, Morticia, Uncle Fester, Lurch, Cousin It, and the rest of the ghoulish gang as they wreak hilarious havoc on their unsuspecting neighbors. So, as we continue, it just keeps going through the fun. So, on the special features, you have the You Rang, Mr. Addams featurette, Snap Snap featurette, the Addams Family theme song karaoke, audio commentary on the Addams Family Goes to School, Morticia the Matchmaker, and Cousin It visits the Addams Family. Original drawings and photos, the Addams Family portrait featurette, which is a good featurette. I have watched that. Then Volume 2 has Mad About the Addams featurette. Experts discuss the history and impact of the show. Thing and Cousin It commentaries. Again, watch 2 kooky characters comment as you view their favorite scenes. I mean, one's going, you know, maybe a sign language. Maybe if he does finger spelling, most finger spelling is, that's, you could do that as one-handed. Guest star Seance interactive featurette, gives you trivia. Tombstone trivia on Morticia's Romance, Part 1 episode. Audio commentary with Addams Family Chronicles. So Volume 3. Select scene commentaries by Thing and Cousin It. I have to watch one of these so I can see it. Tombstone trivia and on Cat Addams. Audio commentary with Addams Family Chronicles author Stephen Cox. So what is the... So, At first, what happened is these were kind of sold separately, and then they did like a full collection for $20, which wasn't bad. Yeah, again, it's worth $20. It's a classic series. If you haven't had it, I think it is worth keeping. I really need to get that Monsters series. I mean, it's routinely in the low 20s. I just don't know what's keeping me from it. I used to watch that more than the Addams Family, and it is there. So the next one's a big part of my childhood, and that is The Adventures of Pete and Pete. So now you can snicker through the entire first season of The Adventures of Pete and Pete, the slightly twisted sitcom centered on the Wrigley brothers, Pete and his brother Pete. You'll also meet Dad, who's obsessed with the lawn, Mom, who has a metal plate in her head, that picks up police radio, baseball games, and other franchise frequencies, and of course Artie, the strongest man in the world. So these are the discs, so to speak. I want to say these are not two-sided. Actually, they're own discs. They actually put disc art. I know it's kind of weird, isn't it? So this is something that I do find cool. I mean, of course, you got an advert for Clarissa, but you also have this right here, like a old school TV schedule, which would tell you what was going on with Nickelodeon in 1993, which, by the way, would be around the time I was still watching. I was around 13 and 14 at the time, so I was watching it. I was more in the teen-centered stuff, of course, by that time. Like, I still liked Mr. Wizard's World, Lassie, I could... that was Monday through Friday. Jim Henson's Muppet Babies, I used to love that as a young child. I was kind of embarrassed by it as an adult, or as a teenager. Eureka's Castle, which I detested. Which they have like almost 2 straight hours of. But, you know, it was Monday through Friday, so I'd be in school. More Eureka's Castle. And they got some of these little Nickelodeon pennants, which I don't know what they represent. Nickelodeon's Wienerville. I remember Wienerville. That was a decent little show. Doug, which I like Doug. Well, Nick's Doug. I didn't care for the Disney one. Looney Tunes. Wild and Crazy Kids. That was a cool, like, competition show. And I was getting home around the time Wild and Crazy Kids came on. Hey Dude, I loved Hey Dude back in then. And I probably did watch that back in those days. Guts, 5:30. What would you do? What would you do? More Looney Tunes, and then ending it with Bullwinkle's Moose-O-Rama, where they actually showed Bullwinkle cartoons back in those days. Let's see what else they've got here. Like Saturday. Saturday was where they tried to be a little bit more on their appeal. They had your Nicktoons, you had Doug and the Rugrats, you had Muppet Babies again. Salute Your Shorts. Love Salute Your Shorts. Michael Rebauer, awesome guy. They used to love Looney Tunes. Of course, you had Family Double Dare. I used to love Double Dare. Welcome Freshmen. We used to all watch that in high school. We used to think it was funny. We actually named one of our fellow students Merv because because he looked like him in the series. Legend of the Hidden Temple. Clarissa Explains It All. I mean, yeah. And of course, you had Are You Afraid of the Dark, which I never watched until later on. And then Roundhouse. So, you know, and of course, Adventures of Pete and Pete came on at 6 p.m. So, of course, there are some wonderful special features with this. You've got 8 episodes on this, which is season 1. 4 bonus Pete and Pete specials: Valentine's Day Massacre, What Did You Do? What We Did on Our Summer Vacation, Apocalypse Pete, New Year's Pete, Pete and Pete Shorts, The Burping Room, and Mom's Plate. Which, by the way, that's how they started, was these shorts that would appear between shows. And they were awesome. I love those shorts. And then they eventually made it into their own show. You got your audio commentaries. You've got the Polaris Music Station music video. So it was kind of really cool to have this. Of course, they also have Season 2, which is pretty cool. And I'll show you these. They have sort of a fall motif. And of course they have the season 1 advert on here, and this. They didn't have a TV schedule in this one. But you have that fall motif. And Big Pete on disc 1. And a little Pete on disc 2. With his tattoo. So this one had 13 episodes with a special Space Geeks and Johnny Unitas, Pete and Pete Shorts, Artie the Strongest Man in the World, The Launch, The Punishment, Route 34, and X-Ray Man. Route 34 was probably the one I remember the most, because I used to mow a lot when I was their age, and it was this where he just got this job mowing alongside the interstate, and I thought to myself, this is exactly the kind of thing I would do when I was his age, and that was just I just identified with that a lot as a child. A lot of audio commentaries. It's a sad thing because it's such a good show. It does hold up. It's very enjoyable to watch. Kind of brings back the nostalgia, and it still has some funny points to it. You can still identify with it. But there were 3 seasons, and they stopped at 2. You cannot get the 3rd season of this show on physical media. And that saddens me. You have to try and go to bootlegs. And I really have debated with bootlegs. But I'll admit, if I ever see it in a good enough format, you never know. So, next up, we've got Aeon Flux. Even still has the price tag here at $12. I got this in Charlottesville when I was visiting friends. And I'd seen the movie, but I'd never seen this when it was on MTV. It was very popular with some of the people in my generation, or maybe a little bit younger than my generation on MTV. But they do have their own disc art. Very dystopian future. Very dystopian overall. So of course you can get your Jackass and various things from MTV. There were, how many episodes on here? 10 episodes and a disc for special features. The special features had the pilot, all the shorts. They'd show the shorts a lot on MTV. A featurette, investigation, history of Aeon Flux, the deviant devices of Aeon Flux, production art, other works by Peter Chung, and Liquid Television shorts. I love the Liquid Television stuff. I'll admit, I was a big fan of that. And the Max. I like the Max a lot. So, Leatherbound and Lethal. Aeon Flux secret agent Saboteur engages in a never-ending battle of wills with her nemesis/love, Trevor Goodchild. And what she may lack in morals and warmth, she more than makes up for with cat-like reflexes and ammunition. This director's cut of the groundbreaking MTV series is a mind-blowing combination of killer comic book-style animation, complex plots and themes, and action-driven narrative. The 3-disc set includes 10 digitally remastered episodes and the original MTV shorts. Yeah, she'd get killed almost every episode. It was an interesting thing. I still keep it. It's so-so for me, but they are still amusing to watch. Now, one that is extremely amusing, but was hard to get ones that were working, was this series, Alf. I watched the crap out of this as a child. I love this series. Now, this one does it right. It doesn't have a big old spool in the middle. We have actual disc art, which means I guess I have to show y'all. So Alf is about this alien who comes to Earth. He crash lands to Earth. And he is trying for most of this episode to avoid the military and eventually get back to his planet Melmac. Well, during this time he's been hidden by a family who takes him in, and these hilarious antics ensue. Now, this had some fun, like special features. You had the unaired pilot, and you got some outtakes and trivia. Now, some of the special features on these are pretty good. In season 2, again, back to the stuff here. You got some pretty, I mean, like I say, you got the disc art. It looks the same, actually. It's the same things, just different color. Now, some of the stuff I didn't even realize, so I'm going to take a look and see if it's the same thing for the next cup with the next 2. But, there's little alphisms on the back. You got this, wish I could stop chewing bubblegum. My fur becomes ungroomable. Most irrational fear, Rhode Island. I still like, this is old because you can still see they have interactive menus as the big thing. He has the 2 bonus Alf cartoons from his animated adventures, the Phantom Pilot, and from Alf Tales, Robin Hood. Alf was like the rage back in the 80s. It's hard to explain for somebody who hasn't been there to understand why this was fun, but it really was. So here's season 4. He's got kind of like a cat milkshake because he liked to eat cats. I won't hold it against him. It's kind of making fun of Home Improvement over here. So let's see here. Is it the same? Yes, it is. Basically, same artwork on the discs, just different color. So I'm not going to worry about that. No special features on this one. Now this one comes with a slipcover, which is the last season, season 4. Right here. And I think this is the one that was the hardest to get that had working episodes on it. For some reason, this series did not burn well. Now there's a whole season, a whole series, and I'm wondering. Yep, still say it, same box art. Oh my. And they did have some fun, like, interactive menus with these, because Alf would make commentary throughout the menus. I feel like there were more episodes through some of these, and maybe there are, it just isn't listed on the box. But it was kind of cool. So only 2 more out of my 10s. So this next one, I don't have the entire series here because, well, as I've said in my previous, it's only what I have watched. I've got a lot of unwatched, and you've seen I've picked up more of this series in my pickup videos if you keep up. But that is American Horror Story. So brace yourself. Brace yourself for an addictive thrill ride. American Horror Story is TV's most original new drama, deeply stylish psychosexual haunt devised to keep you on the edge of your seat. The Harmons, Dylan McDermott and Connie Britton, fresh start in their new home, deviously twists to reveal discoveries of love, sex, and murderous revenge. Now, this is a fun series. I need to watch more of it. I've watched little bits of almost every season except for the last 2. I haven't watched any episodes of Apocalypse. I haven't watched any episodes of the one that shouldn't be because it was supposed to end at Apocalypse. But, you know, I do have, of course, it's like a 3-disc. This one's very different. They actually even stopped doing these on Blu-ray after a while, which is kind of sad. I think the one before Hive was the last one they released on Blu-ray. But they have special features. Murder House presented by Eternal Darkness Tours of Hollywood. Behind the Fright, the making of American Horror Story. Overture to Horror, creating the title sequence Out of the Shadows. Meet the House Ghosts. And audio commentary on the pilot episodes. This is actually one of the strongest seasons of the series, which is funny because it's the first season, but each season has their strengths and weaknesses. I do feel like it's one of those series that starts off really strong but kind of peters out as it goes, and this is no exception. it was still pretty awesome. It was still pretty enjoyable. I did like this series, and I love this season. And this is one of those series I will have to talk about the seasons individually. I mean, season like Alf, even though Alf doesn't end totally, you got to get the movie, which is out of print, in order to really see the ending of Alf. This one, it really has encapsulated seasons. They do connect loosely to each other, but you could really pick up any one season of this series and you'd be set. So, the next one is Asylum. This is my favorite season of the whole. This one takes place in a haunted asylum, old school, run by nuns and all of that. And again, the ending kind of peters out, but up until then, it has a lot of strength, a lot of cool stories to it. It just really is an awesome and very creepy season, probably the creepiest of the seasons. Special features: The Orderly, what is American Horror Story Asylum, Welcome to Bradcliffe Manor, and The Creatures and Deleted Scenes. Again, great season, my favorite of the series. People are divided on that, and the ending, I think, really divided. I think if they didn't go with the ending they chose, and I won't reveal it because, you may like it, but if they didn't go with the ending that they eventually did go with, it very well might have gone down as the best season here. But again, endings is just not that strong on. So the last season that I have watched all the way through, and like I say, I've watched little bits of all the others. The one after this I watched all but like the last couple episodes. But, and that's Coven. Now, Coven is about witches. It's about a coven. A coven that kind of takes in like new witches and they help train them and all that, and just the power struggles within. Now, there's a feature called Zombie Halloween. I look at the making of the episode Fearful Pranks Ensue. Meet Miss Nola. Shooting on location in New Orleans. Enter the Coven, a look back at the entire season with interviews from the cast and crew. To me, it is a fairly good one, but to me it's my least interesting of the ones, I think. Other than Hotel. I need to watch Hotel because the first episode turned me off and I had to not do any more of it, but maybe Hotel will be the one. Last but not least, this TV documentary series is only like 3 episode series. Amityville Confidential. You may have seen this on my Amityville Collection video, which of course I've added to since. But this one is just one of the documentaries. I'm hoping to get more. It's kind of fun just having it. Is the house really haunted? Was it all a hoax? So we have 3 History Channel Amityville episodes. You have Amityville Haunting by the History Channel, Amityville Horror or Hoax, and On Location, the Amityville Horror 2005. I want to say that this was originally shipped as like a secondary disc with the Walmart used to do. They used to pack these like things. Like I have the one for Ghost Rider as well somewhere over here, of where they have like a bunch of extra bonus features. So because that was when you got DVDs when they originally came out, bonus features, that was what people looked at and said, ooh. Even now digitally, the bonus features, that some of them offer them, but they're very limited. So still, bonus features seem to be one of the big draws still for physical media, though it's not as big a draw as it used to be. So discs like this, it may be a thing of the past. Well, that's another 10 items from my collection. Stay tuned next week as we cover our stroll through anime. Well, this is Septum Sen, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.